Yo, what's good? It's your boy Kari.hq. I'm back again with another video. It's been a while since I've been on the tube, but I'm back again with some heat. So let's go ahead and jump into today's video, guys. So today, I really want to get at some of the stuff that I've been hearing out in the streets that's been going on here in Medellin. So what am I talking about, guys? Maybe you've heard this, or maybe you've seen this going around, making its rounds on Instagram, on YouTube, etc., TikTok, whatever. Everyone's saying now that when you come into Medellin, when you come into Colombia in general, that they're getting searched and that the migration authorities are going through their phones. Guys, this has like been a big rumor going around the whole country in the, in the world of expats, right? So let's get down to it. I'm going to tell you my experience, because as you can see behind me, I am back in Colombia. I just got back last week. And so I'm gonna tell you about my experience coming into the country, guys. It may or may not line up with what you've been hearing recently, but we're gonna get into it. First off, I kind of want to address where this whole rumor kind of is coming from or came from. So, to my knowledge, it really had to do with this one case, this one guy that came into Colombia or tried to come into Colombia with a bunch of toys that you would use in some sexual activity, let's say, right? So apparently this guy comes into Colombia, of all places, with his suitcase full of toys, let's call them, that you might use in the commission of, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna even say it no more. But yeah, so basically his suitcase was filled up with these items. He tries to come into Colombia in Medellin. The authorities see that and they pull him to the side. He goes straight to secondary. And this is the guy that I believe, they went through his phone because they found all this weird paraphernalia, if you will, that is really not illegal to my knowledge, but that's really not for me to be the judge of. Apparently the migration people thought it was weird enough for them to pull him to the side, and eventually guys, he was denied entry into Colombia, into Medellin. So ever since then I've been hearing these rumors come up about, hey, when you're going to Medellin, be careful of what you got in your hidden folder, in your photos, in the photo app, whatever. They're going through everything. They're going through your email, they're going through the calculator app. They're trying to just basically just look everything in your phone. Look at everything in your phone. So this has been the rumor that's been going around for the last month or two, right? So obviously, your boy's got to go see for himself, man, because I didn't believe that this was going on. So I just came back through to Medellin last week, right? I'm expecting to have a bunch of problems when I arrive, right? Because everybody is like, making a big deal out of this, right? And apparently other people were saying that it had happened to them, where they were searched and the migration authorities asked to go through their phone. But a lot of these people don't show their face. A lot of these people are, telling their story through somebody else, whatever. It's hard to find people that actually can testify that they themselves has had this experience. But anyway, I'm coming through. I come through Medellin and Colombia multiple times a year. It's no big deal. They know me, basically. But that's nor here nor there. My point is, when I came through, man, it was no problems. Not at all. They talked to me for maybe 30 seconds or less. Looked through my passport, boom, boom, stamp, and I was through. There wasn't no, hey, sir, can we look in your phone? Hey, sir, can you unlock this? Hey, they're putting the phone at your Face ID to get your Face ID. None of that. So, guys, and I stood there for a little while, like at the shop behind migration, just to see if they were going to do this to anyone else. And I saw 0 people get pulled to secondary. I saw 0 people get their phone searched and all this. So I'm inclined now to think that, yes, there was a situation with this one guy, but I think this one guy and what happened with him started a much bigger rumor. It's been going around, the community, if you will, for a while now, for a couple months, that, you know, be very careful what you bring into Colombia in your suitcase or in your phone, like I said. So I just want to get straight at the issue and tell you guys what my experience is and, you know, kind of debunk this. Honestly, in my opinion, nothing has really changed, guys. If you come through here, you shouldn't expect to get pulled to a secondary check. You know, I mean, unless you have something weird in your suitcase or you don't have a clear story when they ask you a question at the desk where you get your stamps or something like that, or maybe you get flagged, you know, from a criminal record or something like that, you really shouldn't have a secondary check with migration. And if they do check you like that, then, you know, ask them, is this random or is this, you know, is there a reason for this, right? You know, either way, you shouldn't have anything illegal coming into this country. As always, you know, that's a no-go. They do actually check here. They do actually scan things and have x-rays all over the place and dogs and stuff. So they've actually been catching a lot of people doing illegal things at the airport. I've been seeing, you know, on Instagram. So guys, be careful. Another thing that I want to address while we're on this topic, it just kind of fits in perfectly. Guys, I've been hearing for a long time, for maybe about 5 or 6 months now, about the lines in migration being even longer than normal. Like normal is like 1 to 2 hours. At least that was normal after the pandemic up until like 2025, you know. So since 2025 arrived, people have been like, no, the lines are like 3 to 4 to 5 hour lines in migration. And when I came through this time in October, guys, there was literally no line, right? And I came at the very last week of October. So last week, there was no line at all. There was like 4 people ahead of me and they had probably like 3 people at the desk doing the stamps. So, you know, I basically waited there for less than 10 minutes, maybe even less than 5 minutes, you know. So I took a quick video. I'll show you guys. These lines ain't shit. So I'm talking about 3 hours. Come on. Tweaking. And there you have it, you know. I mean, there was literally nobody there. So all the rumors that are going around about migration and, you know, what's going on at the airport when you're entering Medellin, be careful about what you believe. You know, you might want to watch or, you know, find some channels that have reputable information like me, from people that are actually doing it, that are showing their face, right? Because a lot of this stuff that I'm seeing on the internet is not absolutely true. It's a lot of hearsay. So all in all, guys, like, you don't have to worry about entering Colombia and getting your phone searched unless you're doing something weird. And honestly, you know, I would probably decline that type of search anyway, just me personally. And I've even heard people go as far as to say like, yo, I'm gonna tuck my main phone in my suitcase and I'm gonna just keep my burner on me so that, you know, there's no information on the burner and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, it is really not that serious, bro. Like, you should be able to come into Colombia no problem, and as long as you're not doing anything weird, you don't have anything weird on you, and, you know, they're happy to have you here. This brings me to my last point, guys, I want to make with you guys on this video. So as we're talking about tourism and getting into Colombia, guys, I noticed on my last few flights into Colombia that I have a lot of empty rows next to me, empty seats, everything, you know. And even when I went through migration this last time, like I told you, there was no line. So I'm starting to kind of wonder, is tourism really dropping here in Colombia, guys? That's right. Like, we never thought that this would come. I think, you know, the boom was so massive. All the people that were dying to come to Colombia by any means necessary. And I kind of feel like it's either plateauing or perhaps even dropping off a little bit in terms of the tourism to Colombia. So guys, let me know your experiences on your flights when you're coming into Colombia. Are you seeing less people on the plane? Are you seeing less people in migration? It kind of seems that way to me. You know, I had a whole open row next to me on my flight here. So that's unusual to me. And overall, I think given what's going on in the world, the conflict between presidents of the United States and of Colombia, Petro and Trump, you know, they've had words that they don't like each other, and there's been situations where even Petro went as far as to do a speech in America and say some pretty wild things, and eventually he got his visa to the United States revoked. And so I think all these kind of geopolitical things, also you got the activity in Venezuela that's going on with our US military being over there now and blowing up some boats and doing certain, you know, activities over there. So all this going on, guys, I think people are traveling to Colombia less. I really do. I think with what you have going on with Trump and Petro, that people in America are starting to look at Colombia a certain way, especially when you have President Trump saying certain things in a certain tone about Colombia.
They don't have a fight against drugs. They make drugs. They refine drugs. They make cocaine. They have cocaine factories. They have no fight against drugs. And I'm stopping all payments to Colombia because they don't have anything to do with their fight against drugs. And in fact, even when they had better presidents than they have right now, that's how they're making a lot of money, drugs. I used to complain about it when they had a very nice president, but he wasn't doing it. It was all talk. They are a drug manufacturing machine, Colombia, and we're not going to be part of it. So we're going to drop all money that we're giving to them. It has nothing to do with them stopping drug production. And you look at the fields are loaded up with drugs, and they refine the drugs, and they make tremendous amounts of cocaine, and they send it all over the world, and they destroy families. No, Colombia is out of control, and now they have the worst president they've ever had. He's a lunatic who's got a lot of problems, mental problems.
You know, to a lot of Americans that maybe don't travel, or maybe they were, you know, Colombia was going to be their first trip ever, they hear President Trump say something like that, and the tone that he said it, and it makes Colombia look like a very crazy place. And overall, I think that can affect the tourism of a country or of a city, you know, like Medellin and Colombia overall. So this is something that I definitely want to hear you guys' input on. And, you know, it's just something that I'm noticing, that I'm picking up on. I even seen, you know, more Airbnbs available, more apartments available on Facebook and things like that. And I'm very curious, as always, to know what's going on with that market of tourism in Colombia, because it does affect me so much, and you know, it's just part of my life. So anyway, guys, I want you guys to put your comments down below. Let me know what you think on all these three topics. I mean, 3 points that I'll leave you with in this video. So first off, the lines at migration are starting to wind down, at least in my experience. I had no wait time, so that's a big revelation. If you were somebody that didn't want to travel to Colombia because you hated that migration line, now is the time to come, because it's way low right now. So you can get in real quick. The second thing is, I want to debunk this whole rumor about, you know, the migration authorities going through everyone's phone, looking through your hidden folder and all that jazz, right? So to me, that did not happen. I did not see it happen for anybody. And I'm starting to think it's just a rumor that kind of started based on that one guy that, you know, came in with a whole bunch of stuff that I don't think was illegal, but it was just weird to have in his suitcase. And so they you know, asked to search his phone, and then everybody else started, you know, freaking out and saying that, oh, you know, I got searched, whatever. So I don't think this is really going on. I think if you're coming out here, expect not to get your phone searched, and if they do, ask a lot of questions before you do something like that, because there really shouldn't be a reason why they're gonna search your phone. And then the last thing is, what's going on with tourism in Colombia? Is it going through a slump right now? Is tourism down? Have, you know, the gringos decide to take their dollars elsewhere, or are people strapped for cash in the United States and other countries and not having the disposable income to travel as much? I'm not sure which one it is, or if it is one of those, but I want to hear what you guys think down in the comments. All right, guys, now I'm going to wrap it up. Head over to Machiavelli's Cafe in La Reles, where some of my original art is being featured. and you can buy my art, my photography that's framed and ready to go for your design needs in your place in the States, here, wherever, guys. You know, I'm looking for you guys to support even my local expats. Show your boys some love and grab some of that art and try some of the delicious pastries they got over there and coffee. Anyway, guys, lastly, follow me on Instagram at Kari.hq. Like, comment, subscribe to this video, and I'm out. Peace. So guys, I know you've been watching my channel for a while, but did you know that I'm actually a legit photographer? I bet you didn't know that. I've actually framed some of my favorite photos, and I brought them down here to Machiavelli's Cafe and Bar in Laureles, close to you guys, where all you guys are staying. But right behind me is some of my very own art, which you guys can now purchase in the restaurant here in Medellin. So support your boy Kari.hq. Come down to Machiavelli's, man. Try some of the delicious food and creations that they have down here. I mean, some of the stuff just blows your mind, like that this pastry chef can actually pull off, and it still tastes amazing. So if you haven't been to Machiavelli's, you got another reason to come. You can get some of Kari.hq's very own art. It's just amazing pictures, man, that really tell the story of Medellin, and it just fits so perfectly in this restaurant, which was really born from Medellin and a love for Medellin. And so to bring some of my own art in here is just, you know, a great opportunity, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. It's the perfect way to decorate your apartment or your home with something from Medellin, you know, a keepsake that can always remind you and keep your home looking good and stylish, man. It's your boy Kari.hq. I'm so excited right now. Come check me out. Right now I'm outside of Machiavelli's restaurant. I just want to show you what it looks like from the front so you don't miss it when you're walking around in Laureles, man. This is the spot where you need to be getting brunch. Trust me, there's no other place that competes with this spot. You know, there's some good food in Medellin, but man, when you're talking breakfast, when we're talking pastries, they take it to a whole nother level in Machiavelli's. Let's go inside and check it out. Every single piece has a certificate of authenticity on the back, so make sure you look for that so you won't have any fakes, you know what I mean? Every single picture out here is just amazing, and it tells a story. When you get home, you can always build, you know, your own photo wall collage. You know, this is something I do in my own house, and I always look for different photos that tell a story wherever I travel. So it's your boy Kari.hq. Make sure y'all make your way down to Machiavelli's ASAP before all of these are gone. I'm with the owner, operator, founder of Machiavelli right here. Charles, tell us about, you know, your restaurant. What made you want to do pastries and bring the French pastry culture and cuisine here to Medellin? Didn't mean to rhyme, but you know.
Well, as we've talked about one time before, I came to Medellin to finish learning Spanish. I went to pastry school over 10 years ago, and I actually never thought I'd come back to pastry, but working from home, going to the cafes, trying all of the wonderful bakery products they have here, I realized I had something more to offer. And so I opened up Machiavelli's to show people what is true French pastry. Nothing filled with sugar, but filled with technique.
There you go. There you go. You got to respect it, man. Somebody that's really, you know, challenging the pastry market out here and pushing the envelope. He's bringing something that wasn't really here in Medellin. So it's always good when you can, you know, bring something that no one else can compete with, you know what I mean? And that's what you've done. So I'm excited to have my art in your restaurant, man. It's going to be a great partnership. It's looking good. And I hope you guys come down here, try some of this amazing food. What do you recommend, man? What's the showstopper?
The Danish.
The Danish?
Raspberry Danish, my dark cherry, which is out right now, the mango lime, and of course, chausson pommes.
Okay. I ain't even gonna pretend to know how I say that. Is there a common, like can you tell me a slang name for that? What would you call that? Is there something else?
Apple pie.
Apple pie, okay. The apple pie. Ask for the apple pie thing if you can't pronounce that. All right, man, it's your boy Kari. Make sure y'all get down here before all the art's gone, all the pastries are gone. Man, I know Saturday and Sunday, you probably won't be able to get up in here. There'll definitely be a line, like every week there's been a line. And yeah, you need to get here early. I'm gonna just say that. All right.